What's up, everyone? I'm Java Jones, an antidisciplinary artist from Alabama, currently based here in New York City. So, from A to B is this initial response to a set of questions that I began ruminating on during my last year of grad school. And one of the primary questions from that was, if Black people are historically reduced to their bodies, then how can I wield abstraction to incite liberatory engagement with Black life to, counter that violence? And so this marked a really pivotal moment in my practice as I began questioning my own lens, questioning, how and when does representative figuration in art reinforce the same social order that regulates the exploitation, surveillance, and subjection of Black life. So after visiting home around that same time, I began thinking more about my Southern upbringing and my family's traditions of survival, specifically how we always had to do the most with the least. And that way of subsisting for decades inevitably trains one's imagination as time and space is limited. So using this context as reference, I wanted to produce work that considered the temporal and spatial relationships that outline my life, and that could articulate itself through a vernacular from elsewhere as a way to transcend the limits of those relationships. As such, the process involved recycling, thermoforming, nigger rigging, documenting, and assembling the plastic bags to explore the material's transformations. I literally wanted to do the most with the least, using only one material. And imposing certain studio constraints like that allowed me to do much more, ironically. And I'll say nigger rigging was probably the most fascinating aspect of the process because it spoke to a particular fluidity that was facilitated by improvisation. And I love that. I love how that approach betrayed the more proper and more polished and more precise ways of making, ways that truly restrict and reduce. But like me, the work can't be restricted, the work can't be reduced. And so throughout the entire process of making the work, it taught me that you have to allow your work to do as it pleases, to guide you into its world, or else you just won't get it. And I'm fine with that, actually, because perhaps it's not meant for your grasp or gaze.